Today I'm going to teach you how to do meltdowns with poi. It's a movement that involves some reaching behind you and some reaching in front of you. I'm going to show you a set of steps that you should practice on your own to work up to the meltdown. When I say the meltdown, this is what I mean. My hands are constantly rotating around my body, shifting which one is in front and which one is in back. The first thing you want to practice is spinning your poi in reverse in a wheel plane, crossing in front of you and behind you. Crossing in front of you and behind you, one beat in each. And try to be sure when you're swinging behind you that you stay right in that wheel plane as much as possible. When you're spinning behind you, notice the motion of the wrist. The wrist is crossing from side to side, but it's also tracing the plane behind you that you want to be spinning in. When you try it with both hands, it looks like this. My poi are in a reverse split time, same direction. And try crossing one in front and one behind. Each time I'm pausing on the sides of my body to regain my neutral position. Notice that my torso twists also at my shoulders and my chest to open up the space behind me. When you're ready, take out the pauses on the side and go from a crossed position to a crossed position on the other side. You should practice this until it starts to feel more fluid, more natural. Here the same set of exercises in the forwards direction, spinning forward in the wheel plane, crossing in front, and crossing behind. These exercises aren't the move itself, but they'll help you build up the familiarity with the type of motion that we'll be using in the meltdown, so they're very good practice. So drill them until they feel comfortable. To turn these exercises into the move itself, we'll start in forwards with our arms doing the crossing pattern. Then you'll turn 180 degrees to face behind you, at the same time shifting your arms into the reverse pattern. So my body turns 180 degrees while my arms switch. And you keep the rhythm in front, behind, as you turn. Right now I'm pausing after I turn to get my bearings and then turn again. Pause and turn. But as you start to get the feel for it, you can take out the pauses. So you turn, and when you reach the other side, you turn back right away.
Look at your feet.
So notice that the movement uses my whole body. My shoulders are twisting almost completely from one side to the other side during the movement. Also, my hips and legs are twisting too. Because if I were to stay completely in one plane, it's very difficult to reach around. It takes more flexibility. But if I let my body rotate, it opens up more space to complete the movement. So that's the basic movement, turning from forwards to reverse and back to forwards continuously. So you don't even really think about a forwards and reverse. You're occupying more of the side in between the two. Instead of turning from completely forwards to completely reverse, I stay more or less facing you and putting all the turn into my hips and torso. So this is a good intermediate technique to drill up to. You can use the basic exercises as kind of a beginner intro. And then when you get here, you've reached a pretty good trick, but there's still a lot of fun variations you can do with it. For example, when I'm wound up here on the reverse side, instead of switching back right across my body low, I can open my arms through an extension and close them again in the crossed position. It looks like this when repeated. And feel free to get your body more into it. Here I have kind of a stable stance, but it can accentuate it if I lean my body from side to side or dip it down low. You can see that I'm just shifting my weight from one knee to the other. It's also interesting to play with leaning forwards and backwards. It changes the position of the arms relative to the body and also accentuates the planes that the poi spin in. Here's what it looks like from the side. Another really nice variation is to do a full spin with the meltdown. So when you're wound up, to go from reverse to forwards, instead of just coming around with half a turn, you're going to turn your body all the way around and then stop on the other side. It looks like this. I'm wound up and I pirouette. Catch it on the other side.
Get your feet. Goes.
Another fun variation is to do similar to our extension pattern, but we'll be doing an anti-spin coming from the forwards wound up position. So to cross as we turn, we open our arms through an anti-spin to get to the other side.
Looks pretty.
You can add as many pedals as you want. A slow travel of the arms will be a lot of pedals. Or a faster motion of the arms can reduce the number of pedals. There are a couple of nice under the leg variations of the meltdown as well. From my reverse crossed position, as I turn to forwards, I'll actually slip the right hand poi under my leg as it comes to the front. So it enters with my right leg slightly back, and my right poi, as it comes from behind me, going between my legs as I step forward. The right poi does this. The other way to add to it is an under the legs coming from the other direction. If I'm wound up to the forwards direction, I can slip my right poi between my legs as it comes around. Here I'm coming in from the front with my right leg forward and exiting with the back step. If you combine the two under the leg moves, you end up doing something that looks like a meltdown around your leg. Once you've wound up the under the leg, you can trace along your leg with your hands, for example. I also really like to combine meltdowns with any kind of behind the back weave or other movements, because you're halfway there with one arm behind your back, all you have to do is switch the other arm to find a behind the back weave, and then take an arm out to find the meltdown again.